Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator, hello, everybody, welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. So, welcome to another late night edition of Rosa Psych Investigator. Corina will be back on Tuesday. By the way, guys, so Corina's working on her website, and we'll have it for you guys when she's ready. And also, just so you know, she comes on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, so I don't think I made it super clear. Oh, that's it. Okay, all right. So guys, I separated the many topics. There's always a lot to talk about, and as you know, I tend to like to do this more in-depth reporting. I do in-depth reporting straight from the just kidding, joking. I'm joking around. It's Sunday night. I'm joking around. It's gonna be right this week. It's gonna get better. It's gonna be alright this week. It's gonna get better. Okay, just made it up now. So let's get started, guys. So today I want to talk about Hegseth. He very is marketing man. This charming man. What's that song? We got the this charming man. This charming man. Hegseth. Hegseth. Okay, I need to stop. I need to be serious. Rosie, your accent. I understand you like to do those faces and things, but I don't understand what you're saying. Okay? But let's look at protection. I'd like to ask for protection. A bit of a ray of light coming on top of my head. As I breathe in, I fill my lungs. As I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. Step into it. I feel protected. Step into it. I feel connected. I like to ask that information's come only from the highest sources. That it create the good, and only the good, the good for the good people. The good for the good people. The good for the good people. Okay, stop singing today. Stop singing. Let's get started. Okay, so now the first two things I wanted to show you is that two separate viewers sent me these videos, link to these videos, where more mainstream YouTube channels, in other words, non-psychic channels, are talking about the military having to intervene. So this is, of course, legal AF. You probably all know this. This is a channel associated with the Midas Touch. So that he is a lawyer. And I want to show you, this is like, it's almost unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable, but it's interesting, right? Because we see now, right? Like I don't know, it's so interesting. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna, 1 second here, let's see. All right. I'm always experimenting, as you know. Okay. I'm going to be smaller. Rosie, can you please move your head next time? But I think you guys have a point. You really do. Okay, so let's just hear him. This passage here.
Security clearance to take away their guards and call them fat and all this other ridiculous stuff. But at some point in this country, the military, even under civilian command, may have to have a sit down with Donald Trump and tell him that we, sir, have also sworn an oath to uphold our Constitution. And what we're watching us as constitutionalists, as nonpartisan people, troubles us. And if you don't get on, this might be a meeting of the generals.
So that was and there was it Michael Popak from Legal AF, and so that I just love to see that this is gelling with what we're seeing, that it's sort of become, it's something that's in the zeitgeist. So this other thing that I also saw was another channel. Okay, and I'm just going to show you 1 second. So this is another channel, okay?
Which side it is on. Let me explain. I saw some of our viewers discussing this on the David Pacman Show subreddit. Trump's back in office. The chaos immediately started. Courts being ignored, mass deportation plans in motion, no due process, no oversight. Pete Hegseth, Trump's defense secretary, cable news pundit with no military command experience, leaking classified or should be classified info to journalists, to his wife in Signal chats.
And then he goes on to give examples of, I've talked about this before, of countries where there were dictatorships and the military. Like, this is the thing that I tell you guys sometimes, that if you come from a country that has had military dictatorships or something like that, like Brazil has, you need the support of the military in order for something significant to happen. And here, Trump does not have, no matter how many, I mean, I think he's been able to change some people, but he, broadly speaking, does not have the support of the military. So that is something that becomes a problemos for him, right? Because as Corinne and I have seen, this day is coming sooner, I think, sooner than later. And can you believe it that this is something that's starting to be discussed in the mainstream? So interesting information. So now let's go and dissect some other links, some other things that today is really all about this issue of the military and Hegseth. Okay, so let me move to the next piece of information. Now, this is something that came out in the New York Times. Let's see here, actually, this is Kyle Griffin. This was published on Friday, right? And this had been published, by the way, by a German newspaper, I think a while, like last week or something. But here the New York Times publishes this. Hegseth's phone number, the one used in a recent Signal chat, was easily accessible on the internet and public apps as recently as March, potentially exposing national security secrets to foreign adversaries. The phone number could be found in a variety of places, including WhatsApp, Facebook, and a fantasy sports site. Okay, so this is the article here from the New York Times. So we're seeing really this incredible quote unquote coincidence where there's all these articles coming out and all this stuff, the truth about him coming out. And this can't possibly be a coincidence, right? Of course, he has done awful things, but it is as if there's a concentrated effort to take him down because he is incompetent. And clearly, I really don't think that it's not just stupid, it's compromised. Okay, why would you imagine if you have no experience, right? And you would get a job like this knowing that you're basically unqualified. If you were working from good faith, you would try to consider that you have a lot of information that puts a lot of people at risk. And so you would be careful with it. Oh, and something else, I watched so many different channels. I think it was probably Combat Veteran or another channel similar to that one, where they talked about the fact that now, recently, the Houthis took down several American drones as if they somehow knew the location of where they're going to be. So, guys, this is, we know that Hegseth has an actual Russian phone number. He has a Russian email address. And we know that Houthis are connected to Iran, right? Because Houthis are a Shiite group, right? And Iran is really the center of all the Shia, right? So that's a Shia group that's funded by Iran. And then Iran is Russia's closest ally. Okay. So we have a situation where somehow, what a coincidence they have. Oh, how do they get the right? How the hell would they know that if unless they had information, correct? So and remember, guys, that when we had what was it, the recording, the first signal chat, we saw JD Vance sort of saying, "Why are we going after the Houthis? We're just helping Europeans." And we know that the JD Vance's overt goal is to please Russia. We know that. That's very obvious. So there he is, trying to stop attacking the Houthis, who benefits from. I'm not saying that you should just randomly attack the Houthis, but the Houthis technically were blocking this shipping passage that was very important, right? So, and they were attacking Israel. So I'm not saying that this makes sense. It's not like you. I just feel like you have to always look at who's winning here. It's Russia's allies. Okay, that needs to be explained. How the hell are the Houthis now targeting and knowing where, like, how to take down American drones? Let me just pause here to make sure, just because I swear I heard this. I don't know exactly where, but let's see if it's in the news. Guys, this saddens me that it's 100% true. Can you believe it? It's real. Here it is. Houthis shoot down growing number of U.S. drones. 6 MQ-9 drones have been downed since the start of a large-scale air campaign. 3 Air Force Reaper drones have been shot down by Houthi militants this past week, bringing the number of drones that have been brought down by the Houthis since March 15th, when the Trump administration began sustained campaign against the military group, to 6. The U.S. military has provided a few details about the airstrike campaign that the Trump administration has described being much larger than anything undertaken under the Biden administration. Okay. So it's just, to me, it guys, can you believe it? It's like, just to think about what this means, right? We have this guy who's compromised, who has this very insecure phone lines, and we're going to talk about the whole unsecure line he has attached to his desk on the Pentagon. So, and then we have, it's like, it's not a coincidence at all, right? So let me ask here, is Hegseth, okay, let's just 2 questions. Do the Houthis have information about the military drones from Hegseth? I'm not saying that he's sending them directly, but somehow this information is coming out, right? Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I see that there's a cable, and it shows me Putin listening in. So yes, they have information, whatever information he gets. This is how he was instructed. See, he gets the information and he puts it on these apps so that they can be shared with the enemy, essentially. Okay, yes, that Putin is not directly, right, but he's listening in. And they're working against the U.S. military. That's right. And then this guy, I mean, think about it. Think about it. This instance of treason, that's what it is. The head of the U.S. military is sharing information with the enemy, I think knowingly. I think he knows that the enemy has access to because imagine if he was one of us, like, oh my God, I have this job that maybe you're not so qualified for, but you were like, wow, you have to be so careful. And imagine, not just say theoretically, that you did something wrong like that. And you're like, you'll be mortified. And if it was any of us, be like, okay, just tell me, give me the instruction, right? You try to do everything to make sure that the information is as secure as possible, because you are aware that not only you are the head of the military and that there's the consequences to that, right? It's important. It's an important job. Also because there's people's lives on the line. There's American troops on the line. Their lives are on the line. So if you give the information to the enemy that is attacking them, something could happen to them. Like, this is the level that we're dealing with right now. And I'm like, I'm like angry already. But this is what we're dealing with here. So that's okay. Think about it. That's what I got. That he knows that he's doing as he was told, which is to share information through. It's like part of his job as a trader is to share information through these apps. And among the people in those apps, you know, he puts everybody and their mother. The next thing you know is like the babysitter, the guy from Ace Hardware, anybody. You know what I mean? I don't have anything against. I'm just like something that came, you know, around the corner. Oh yeah. Oh, he's the best guy over there. You need something. You need some hammer and there's some tools or whatever. Just go. Oh, listen. I'll put you in my chat, so you know everything's going on over there in the Houthis. Oh yeah. Seriously, everybody and their mother. He's a hairdresser. You know, his collar person. Oh, here. Let me put you in the chat. Oh yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Here it is. So obviously, the enemy is among them. Okay, and it could be like, let's say. It could be Svetlana Borisovsk, could be listed under Lisa Smith. Who is to say? Does that make sense? I mean, the level of these people. So yes, okay. I think it's a thing. By the way, I'm drinking diet ginger ale. It's a very good drink. I recommend it. It's not alcoholic. So wow, can you no seriously guys, this is real. So let's now go to photographs. I have a photo here. We're looking at photographs. Now, I'm making the accent to kind of lighten the reality, the harsh reality that we're dealing with here. That he is sharing military plans with the enemy knowingly, even if he's not like, listen. Is Dmitry Peskov on the line? Hey, it's Hegseth. Hey, Dmitry, it's me. Hey, do you like my suit? Yeah, it was kind of different, don't you think? Oh, I got around. I sleep around. I got seven kids. Yeah, my sperm works. You know what I'm saying? So I'm laughing again because it's a dire situation. Okay, now we have let's go to this now photograph, because this is a deep investigation. No, really. There's so much here. All right, so let's go. Hey ho, let's go. Hey ho, let's go. So here we have from Jennifer Jacobs. She's a reporter. New, and this is Friday, right? New. Defense Department spokesperson confirms there's a physical line running between Secretary of Defense Hegseth's cell phone, which is kept outside his office, and a monitor on his desk. The workaround, which is unusual, was created to give Hegseth text and signal message alerts in his office, which is a SCIF where cell phones are prohibited. Spokesperson said Hegseth doesn't access signal in his office. And then now here is the photograph, okay? Photo of the monitor and keyboard installed on his desk. It gives Hegseth access to his iPhone text messages, signal, chat groups at his desk, even though his cell phone isn't physically in the office. It's not on the Defense Department's non-secure protocol router network, known in military parlance as NIPR, sources said. Spokesperson said Hegseth goes out of his office, SCIF, to read his messages after he gets alerts on the monitor on his desk. So signal isn't being used in the office. Like, how stupid is that? What difference? I mean, I guess he can type it in. Oh, listen, I got an alert. I got to think about it. This is a guy who's supposed to care about the Pentagon, the military, the highest level of information from the military. He goes, oh, listen, I have a phone. I have notification. I have to go get it. I'll be right back. What the hell is this bullshit? Come on. Okay, now this photograph is so damning, because this you see here, this is the monitor she was talking about, right? So he has the monitor, and you can even see, guys, from here. I don't know if I've had apps before where you can use your own, like you can use your apps on your computer. So this is exactly the format. So he's looking at it like that. And we have this guy who clearly works for Russia, right? Elon Musk can easily get information like this. He should not be allowed inside that office. what the hell are these clowns, these traitors doing there? So really, like, okay, this is just awful. Okay, so let me ask this question. What the hell is going on here? And has Elon Musk installed something here for Hegseth on behalf of Russia? Like, really, let's just ask. It's say he was picked because he's compromised and he would do as he's told. One, and he's a joke. Two, and he would embarrass the military, because that's what Putin really wants, is to embarrass the American military, right? And to make fun of the American military, to diminish the American military. So Elon, so that's right. So I see that there's something in his hand. Elon Musk has something like a little metal thing, like a magnet thing in his hand. I mean, I don't know if it could be something that is not literal. Okay. It could be, what is it? What is this? Yeah, it's saying that I see that it's something like a magnetic thing that I feel like it emits some sort of like signal. I don't know what I don't want to know what it is, but yes. How? So but I see that I pick up that Elon Musk thinks that Hegseth poses zero threat, that he's in on the operation, he's doing a good job. So we know the other thing, guys, that I've noticed. Isn't that interesting that Elon Musk is complaining a lot about the complains a lot about the tariffs, but he's not complaining about the signal. He's not complaining about the Signal scandal. Not that I've heard. Like, he's not saying, "Wow, look at how poorly they're handling classified information." No, he's not. Right? It doesn't bother him. It's kind of interesting, I find. So that's right. He's there. He's like, and I see, wow, Elon Musk texting the Russian handlers. Oh no, Hegseth. He's in control. We're in control of him, sort of thing. Oh, he's doing as he's told. Good job. I told him. That's right, because he's saying it's very hard to find people who are so empty inside and willing to betray their own country like this. So, okay, so this is where we are now. Now let's go to, so I'm going to share with you messages, how do you say it? Like, okay, let's see. Okay, 1 second, guys. So, so Elon Musk sending messages to this Russians. Oh, giving reports to his Russian handlers too. So, all right. Wow. Okay, what a mess. Okay, so I'm gonna talk. Okay, so before I send you, I'm gonna start reading remember that professor? He's a real person. He's, I think, 78 or something. I know so people are like, wow, this sounds like incredible information. People looked him up, and he does have some sort of family conviction, but still, guys, he's legit. He has worked in the military. He has worked in intelligence. Maybe he's not a perfect person, but still, he has a theory that I believe there's a point to it. But we're gonna read that. I'm gonna read that at the end. But before I do that, I'm gonna show you, and let's look into, guys, Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is just, she's a very, very shady character. She's involved in a lot of very dark things. But let's look at her reaction. I found this video of her, and it's so interesting. You could see that she's whatever she's gaslighting must be true, right? She doesn't gaslight something unless they want to move the direction. Like, she's so creepy to me, guys, She's so creepy. Oh my God. Okay, so
There's a signals chat controversy that's going on. Is DOJ involved at this point? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, first, it was sensitive information, not classified, and inadvertently released And what we should be talking about is it was a very successful mission. Our world is now safer because of that mission. We're not going to comment any further on that. If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach a bit, talk about the classified documents in Joe Biden's garage that Hunter Biden had access to.
So this is like, I mean, the fact that they're trying to change like a normal administration would be like, wow, we're looking into this, we're finding out. It's like, no, let's just move on and blame Hillary. I'm laughing, it's not funny at all, but it's like, what? It's like, I don't know what to say about it. Like the fact that they want to keep the person. They're not even concerned about how they appear. They think their command of propaganda is so good that they can get away with all of this. But let's continue. So what is going on? I just want to know. So what is going on with Pam Bondi? What is she thinking? Look at her mouth. Oh no. She's like, I see that she rehearses in front of a mirror. And no, it was nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Wow, and I see that she's telling herself, Pam, just keep yourself, you're in control, Pam, you're in control. Soon enough, there will be no journalists. There will be nobody here challenging what we do. So, wow, I'm just like, so just say it's Hillary. Just say it's Hillary. Hunter Biden is Hunter Biden, it's Hillary Clinton. So, okay, what does Pam Bondi know about this? Does she? And it's like, guys, it's like, no, Rosie, she does not want to investigate anything. This is their game plan. It's to give the enemy access to all of our information. No, she doesn't care about us. No, they don't. It's shocking and difficult sometimes, but it is what it is. So I see, guys, her being ours. I just find it, wow, there's such, I don't know, guys, I don't know what to say. I can't believe we're living through this, but here we are, okay? But let's get to the bottom of this. And now let's go to the article by Professor Terrence something. He did teach at West Point at some point. So even if it's not perfect or whatever, his background, I don't really care too much, to be honest. It's a theory that he has, and that's what's very interesting about it, okay? So let's go to that. Let's find it here. Oh, it's interesting because I made a huge, sometimes you can, oh no, hold on a second here. Okay, 110%, okay. So I'm going to read this like I did the other time. Okay, remember how I show this? It's a Substack. You can subscribe. D32.0. The powerful Pentagon cell is forcing Hegseth's removal before a Taiwan crisis, a European crisis, or a Middle East crisis start. 1. Staff fires and chaos engulf the office of the Secretary of Defense. It's been quite a few days. As Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth's press secretary said upon resigning, it's been a week from hell. And the White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, shouted on Fox and Friends Monday morning. This is what happens when the entire Pentagon, hold on a second, when the entire Pentagon is working against you. Trump has at last figured it out. First, Musk's secret briefing of the Pentagon's war plan to defend Taiwan was publicly disclosed to great consternation and embarrassment. Then Signalgate occurs, and the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic is mysteriously dropped into a top-secret NSC briefing on Signal without a trace, and the proceedings published in The Atlantic. Then a mass firing of Secretary Hegseth's personal staff for causing leaks with no proof occurs. Then the New York Times discloses that the Secretary of Defense had sent Signal texts containing secret combat information from Commander of Central Command General Michael E. Kurilia, stating the time, place, and type of aircraft and missiles to be used to attack the Houthi leadership, that is attacking shipping in the Red Sea, which could have been fatal to the pilots Hegseth sent in harm's way against the Houthis. Then the Times wrote that Hegseth had received the attack information through secure government communication channels, but chose to resend the information to enhance his personal status through Signal, a non-secure commercial network, to his wife, his attorney, and his brother. The New York Times received this leak from 3 unnamed government officials. Then the Washington Post Wednesday afternoon reported that, according to 3 people familiar with the matter, Hegseth had a Signal app attached to a non-government personal computer in his Pentagon office to provide a workaround for the prohibition of cell phones and other non-government communication devices in the Pentagon. This prohibition is to protect military plans and other sensitive information from being intercepted or otherwise obtained by enemies of the United States. Hegseth was determined to get around the rule, and he did. So this is right. This is stuff that we have discussed. So here, Trump's trade war threatens to become a real war. And this, by the way, this was published, I think, on Thursday. All right, so the Pentagon has made it clear that he will not accept the Clascon Secretary of Defense, bring in another subpar successor, and the same will happen to them. Okay. But first, it's important for you, dear reader, to understand the chain of command of the armed forces as reformed by the Goldwater-Nichols Act of 1986, which dramatically improved the command and control of joint operations in a war theater and centralized the strategic military advice given to the President and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Okay. But I'm just skipping here to the parts that I think are relevant, but understanding the role of the modern Office of Secretary of Defense, created in 1945 and modified in 1986, and the job of combatant commander, created in 1986, is critical to appreciate the gravity of the mistake Trump has made in appointing Pete Hegseth Secretary of Defense, and why the powerful secret cell in the Pentagon is determined to force him out of office. Okay, so he goes into the different, the different commands, the post-war. It's a long story, but the World War II allies, Britain and the United States, resolved the problem of joint commands on an ad hoc basis to give regional commanders, such as Eisenhower in Europe, Nimitz in the Central Pacific, and MacArthur in the Southwest Pacific, supreme command of all the force in the region, land, sea, and air. This became the template for the future, but was not immediately adopted. What was adopted in 1947 was to unite all the forces under the command of a single secretary, the Secretary of Defense. This is Hegseth's current job. He is at the pinnacle of the chain of command, just below the president, and it is his job to evaluate and distill all the military options from combatant commanders in the event of a crisis, and, along with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, make recommendations for action to the president. In 1986, Congress adopted the Goldwater-Nichols Act, which established into law the original Joint Operations Commands that worked so well in World War II. It created 9 geographic commands with combatant commanders having complete command authority in each geographic region, such as Central Command, which ran the Gulf War and the following wars conducted in the Middle East. Okay, so, now, The cell had its mission, do whatever it takes to isolate and remove Secretary Hegseth from office. The U.S. Armed Forces are not a suicide squad. So far, the powerful cell has done a brilliant job of carrying out the mission. President Trump is unlikely to make the same mistake twice. If he does, a similar result will occur. So, okay, so that's just I find that very refreshing to read this and understand it because I don't know much, I mean, about military history, but I find that it's helpful to understand what's happening. There's something happening at least. But you know, it's great to be able to share this with you guys because the situation is really quite dire, right? And like this is where we are. So what's going to happen next with Hegseth? Is there going to be more scandals? And all these other channels I mentioned earlier, everybody's mentioning the military moving in on Trump and these people. Well, yes, and I see that actually I see them handcuffing Hegseth. And but I do, the interesting thing about Hegseth is that once he's I mean he's been caught technically, right, in some ways, but once he's arrested and stopped, he will rat out everybody. I don't have a problem with him. Like I think he's not, you know, he's not a tough guy in that sense. So it's coming, Rose, it's saying. Okay. All right. And it reminds me of Michael Popov, is that his name? He says at one point in the recording, he says, "Oh, Stephen Miller is going to have to put in his calendar that the president has to go meet with 20 generals." And like it's happening. It is definitely going to happen. Okay. And it's so interesting to be living this historical moment. But I just want to share with you to show you how serious that, like the depth of the situation. Okay. All right. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. By the time it's right now, it's 11:55 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. It usually takes about an hour to finish editing, downloading, and then uploading. So it may be around 1 a.m. when you get this video. Okay. So, but thanks for watching anyway. And have a good beginning of the week. Bye. Bye. Prayer and energy time. Let's use this time to send energy to people healing and going through complex health challenges. Their bodies need the energy we send them. Bo, recuperating from intestinal surgery at the Mount Sinai Hospital, battling cancer and winning. I spoke to her today, and I felt her mother telling me she will survive and thrive. Cecilia, her sister, visits her daily. Cecilia is herself also battling cancer, and she's also winning. Bella is also undergoing cancer treatment. Let's envision her pain-free and 100% cancer-free. Treatment. Let's send Bo, Cecilia, and Bella energy. Bo, Cecilia, and Bella are fully healed, full of energy, cancer-free, and proud to tell this story of great health and recovery. Okay, so just going to be silent for a bit as I send them energy right now. And I hope you do the same. And also, you can think of others that you know, your loved ones, someone that you feel may be in need of energy, and focus on them. Okay? Okay, so let's start. I'll be silent here for a little bit. Thank you again. Let's create this circle of energy around them. And so it is.